As you have completed formative assessment 1 examination, and before we starting the formative assessment, we started the lesson from gathering food to growing food, the earliest people, and the title was left to nomadic life. Who are called nomads? Nomadic life is the title. Before that, we studied fire. Fire was invented by the earliest people by hitting the stone in the forests, and then after only they started the cooked food items. Before they used to eat the raw foods, but after finding the fire, they cooked boiled food, and the raw flesh they were boiled and they used it as the burning food. And they fried different activities manner they were learned after the finding fire. Then after here nomadic life, who are called, if I ask you question as 1 mark, who are called nomads? The people who move from place to place are called nomads. The people who move one place to other place are called nomads. Let us see the lesson. The earliest people used to live in the small groups in the caves or under the trees or rocks. They did not build the houses. Actually, they led a mobile life constantly moving from one place to another. People who regularly move from place to place are called nomads. The people who move, suppose sometimes they lived in the forest and sometimes they shifted in the other forest, and sometimes they cultivated here, and in other times they cultivate in other land. So they shifting from place to place only. Such people are called nomads. That you have to remind. Nomadic life. Paintings during the times of earliest people. The early people drew the pictures of the animals and hunting scenes on the walls of the many caves and rock shelters. Different colored stones were ground and mixed with the animal fat. Pictures were then painted on the rocks with the bamboo bushes and perhaps drawing pictures these had some religious importance for them, which means where they had to live the different. Basically, all the people who belonging to the earliest times, the people are completely, they used drawings in their paintings. They draw completely in their drawings. They use drawing of completely animals and different types of the hunting, their equipments, what they had to use. These are the activities they are drawn. Stone Age and sites of Telangana. In Telangana, where we can find in Nizamabad district, where in previous times earliest people used to live, and Utnur, Adilabad, Peddapalli district, Nalgonda district. These are the areas where Jayashankar district, Amarabad in the Nagar Karnool district, elsewhere in the Nalgonda district, Ramagudam in Peddapalli district, Utnur in Adilabad district, Armoor in Nizamabad district, Manjira Valley in Sangareddy district, and Cherala in Bhadradri district. These are the places where the Stone Age of Telangana. In Telangana also, in these districts, the earliest people used to live, and there are the several things. The earliest people are become people like us now, but earliest people do not know any technological facilities, so that is why they lived like that. Earliest people, signs and symbols we can find in these districts, where these districts are available, where these signs are available. If we visit the district, there we can see the earliest people's icons were during their times. Next year, hunter-gatherers in our times. Even now, several groups of the people sustain themselves by hunting and gathering food in the different parts of the world. In our state, the Yanadis and Chenchus lived in this manner till very recently. Scholars have tried to live among them and understand their lives from many such studies then all over the world. Historians try to imagine the lives of the people who lived in the forests thousands of years ago, like Yanadis and Chenchus. In our areas at present also they are the people Yanadis and Chenchus who where their community and where their caste names are called Yanadis and Chenchus. These are the people are completely at present also are living in these aspects only into the various aspects. Like we can see these are the people where we are comparing them with the earliest people are living like this only. Yes, we can see figures their lifestyle we can see here in these pictures how their lifestyle during that time. So very dangerous. They do not have proper clothes also to wear. They do not have proper vessels also to cook foods. They do not have bowls, everything. So they are living in this aspects only. Shared living. But the earliest people are very caring each others because they shared everything what they have. If suppose one earliest family where they are produced well amount of the grains, that grains they are shared to others also. So these are the helping nature was kept by the earliest people during that time. Shared living. We read earlier that the early people lived in small groups and led a nomadic life. It appears that the both women and men participated in the hunting and food gathering. Women and children were more active in food gathering and hunting of small animals. Hunting large animals may have taken many days of the tracking the animals to distant places. This was probably done mostly by men. Hunter-gatherers shared the food they collected with all the members of the groups. There wasn't much scope for the storage of food as the food consisted mainly of the perishable things like meat, fish, fruits, leaves, tubers and small quantities of wild grains and pulses. The food we eat today does not perish so quickly. We also have jars and tins to store then for months. But the earliest people did not store the food as it would be difficult to carry it around as they migrated from place to place. Which means what food items were collected by the earliest people, that food items cannot be taken with them because they do not have any facility to store them. So the food items they were distributed in all the people which will be utilized to the others. Since they shared all the food and had free access to the resources of the forests, hunting, gathering, did not have any rich or poor classes among them. They were all equal and treated each other equally. They also took all the important decisions by discussing them together. If suppose they want to make any decisions, they all together gathered and they took all the people's advice and they made a decision. They have such manner. They are the people of the earliest time are like that. Even today, hunting for the wild animals, hunter-gatherers had a great respect and regard for the forests, plants, trees, animals, rivers and hills. They often worshipped them so that they may get the enough food all the time, which means when they will get the big animal in their huntings, that flesh of that animal was they shared to all their families, and they are also worshipped to God, where they distributed food to the all people. So as in the sufficient food they got at that time. We can now imagine the life of the early people who hunted and gathered food in the forests. At present also there are the several hunters, not earliest people, but several people are also gathering and hunting the animals like rabbits, like several things they are hunting. So we can find. So it is also one of the offense only. The living beings which are living in the forests, killing them also one of the offense only. From gathering to growing food, for thousands of years human beings lived by the hunting and gathering. They started growing crops only about 12,000 years ago. Why did they change their lifestyle? Let us find out. Around 12,000 years ago, there were major change in the climate of the world, and it increasingly became warm. It led to great change in the natural vegetation as large tracts of the forests turned into the grasslands. These grasslands provided fodder for the grazing animals like cattle, sheep and goats. They also had grains that could be eaten by human beings. As the early people began to come in the contact with these grasslands and animals, they gradually tried to control them. This is called the domestication of plants and animals. Let us see what this means, what it led to do, which means where the grassland, they can find that grassland will be used as the to the animals like grazing of the goat, cattle, sheep. These all the animals are by eating that grasslands they are fed. The animal grazers learning to grow crops and tend animals. How does the earliest people were learned crops? Suppose one farmer, earliest among the earliest people, one of the person who was learned the cultivating thing like paddy or jowar, what they were cultivated. If they learned and he produced in one place where he has produced, he experienced that product and they learned in that manner the production system, and they shared that what they are learned in this aspect, they shared that thing to the other people also, in what process he was cultivated jowar crop, and he gave that knowledge to the other person also. In that manner, the people, all the castes of the earliest, they learned and completed the procedure where they are cultivated the different types of the crops during their times. Domestication, that you have to read, passage was mentioned that only, where they are cultivated the different types of the crops, they shared with each other and they continued in this manner. People usually select those plants and animals that give good yields and but are not prone to the diseases. Seeds of the such crops are selected and used for showing in the next seasons, and only animals of the selected types are allowed to breed. Thus plants and the animals tended by the people became different from the wild ones. When people selected the crops and protected them, will they bear fruit, or when they allow the selected animals to breed and protect them for their own use, it is called domestication. What is called domestication? Question may ask as 4 marks. Domestication means where the people are used. Suppose one of the earliest person used seeds. That seeds he was shared with the other peoples, and where the earliest people are living in the other regions, he was shared with them, and there also they seeded that. So in this manner, the domestication was continued. And settled life and the cultivation, this passage you have to read domestication completely, like Podu, what crops they are produced, and if you get doubt, make a phone call. Settled life, when people begin growing plants, they had to stay in the same place for a long time to look after the plants and watering, weeding and driving waste animals and the birds till the grains ripening. At the harvest time, they got much grains and that they could not eat it all at once. It had to be stored for the long periods, about 6 months to 1 year. All this meant that people had to stay in one place and build houses to store the grains. So these are the people are also where they are stored grains. They do not have any vessels. So we discussed in the before time. Here, when staying in one place become the inevitable, the constructed huts of stones, wood, mud. They used wood, muds, and that dried grass and vessels were needed to cook grains and store water and milk, etc. It led to the making of the pots of the different kinds, and they also started the painting and the decorating the pots to make them look better. Cooking also required stoves and stones for the grinding corn and etc. When the archaeologists dug up the places where early farmers lived, they usually found and remains of the huts, pots and stoves, microliths and grinding stones. So in some parts they also found some roasted grains, which means the people are used to prepare the different types of the activities. With that activities only they are prepared several types of the vessels, muds. They used clays, and so they one by one the earliest people are also became like the present people as how we are living in that activity they became. We find the earliest evidence of the cultivation of crops and from the Balochistan about 10,000 years ago in India. There are evidences in the Kashmir from around 5,000 years ago, and Bihar some 4 or 5,000 years ago in the different activities where the earliest people lives. We can find that lives are there in India's among the 28 states. We can find in various areas the earliest people, the beginning people of the world are lived in this aspects. Neolithic period in Telangana, the conclusion title of this chapter, where I was missed some passages that you have to study in a brief, and if you get doubt, ask me by making a phone call. Neolithic period in Telangana, number of Neolithic sites have been found in the Warangal rural, Warangal urban and Janagaon, Jaishankar, Siddipet, Nagar Karnool, Mahbub Nagar, Karimnagar and Adilabad districts, and ground stone tools have been collected. The excavations at the Polakonda in the Warangal district have brought to light head of the burn and clear, along with the large number of the microliths, handmade pots and jars for the storing grind, and people seem to have lived here about 3,300 years ago. 3,300 years ago, the people are found in the Warangal rural and Warangal urban, Janagaon, Jaishankar, Siddipet, Nagar Karnool, Mahbub Nagar, Karimnagar and Adilabad. In these regions, Neolithic period in Telangana, which means the earliest people period in Telangana, this was found. So this was the situation of this chapter, where the earliest people are in different activities played roles, but present the earliest people are became like as on, because they learned everything according to the technology. Now let me tell you one important thing, that from the 6th class syllabus, SCE already removed some lessons which lessons are not teaching by me, and also not given in the formative assessment exams, in the summative assessment exams, final exams of the 6th class. In that exam also, these are the lessons which I am going to tell you now, that lessons will not be given in the formative assessments, in the summative assessment exams. Landforms, this lesson we completed, I think you wrote in your fair note also. Landforms lesson, if you are written in fair note already, which means no problem. If you are not written, means no need to write landforms lesson, because this lesson was removed from the syllabus in this academic year. And next, agriculture in our times, 7th lesson, trade in agriculture, produce part A and B, 8th lesson also removed, and emergence of the kingdoms and republics, 10th lesson also, first empires, 11th lesson also. These are the 6 lessons are removed from the syllabus. These lessons will not given in the, you no need to write in fair note, you no need to write, no need to study these lessons, because these lessons will not give in the formative assessment and summative assessment exams. And these lessons only will be given to you as your projects in the upcoming online classes. These are the 6 lessons which are removed from the syllabus. That lessons will be given as your project only, not exam syllabus. Is it clear to all? Okay. Thank you.